In this section, we're going to be building an AI-powered qualification specialist that will be able to answer our customers' questions as well as gather their use case and volume to qualify them for sales. Along with our prompt, our AI assistant is also going to have access to a knowledge base so that it can answer customer questions based on the Telnex messaging product. It will also have access to an MCP server so that it can do things in Salesforce like searching for a lead or contact, creating a new Salesforce lead, and logging the conversation summary as a task to Salesforce. It will also be able to send emails to the customer, and it will also be able to create and update Google Calendar events. And the idea here is that we'd take this phone number associated with our AI assistant and we'd put it on our contact sales page so that instead of someone filling out a form or emailing sales, they'd call this phone number in order to interact with our AI assistant. So let's test this out by giving it a call.
Hello, this is Echo Telnex's AI-powered voice assistant. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
You're speaking with Tyron.
Nice to meet you, Tyron. To make sure I point you in the right direction, what are you looking to use Telnex messaging for in your business?
I want to send promotional SMS to the customers of my ice cream store.
Very cool use case. Ice cream promos by text work really well. To get you the right pricing and setup guidance, which countries are your customers in, and where will you be sending SMS from?
Me and my customers are all located in Ireland.
Perfect, all in Ireland. That keeps things simple. Next, about how many promotional SMS messages do you expect to send per month in Ireland? Even a rough estimate is fine, like 1,000 or 10,000 per month.
I'd be sending roughly around 1,000 messages per month.
I'll pull up our Ireland SMS pricing to estimate your monthly costs. Thanks for waiting, Tyron. For Ireland, outbound SMS is about 6.3 cents per message, so 1,000 messages a month would cost around $63 per month for messaging. Next piece, what kind of number are you thinking of sending from? Something like a regular local mobile number, a toll-free number, or a short code?
A regular local number would be fine.
Great. A local number is perfect for a neighborhood ice cream shop. It feels familiar to customers. Here's how your monthly costs break down in Ireland. SMS, tilde 1,000 messages times about 6.3 cents, approximately $63 per month. Local number, $1 per month. So you're looking at roughly $64 per month total. Based on that volume, you'd be a great fit for our self-service portal where you can sign up, buy a local Irish number, and start sending promos on your own. Can I send you an email with step-by-step links to create your Telnex account, buy a local number, and set up your first SMS campaign?
That would be great.
Perfect. I'll send that over. What's the best email to reach you at? Please spell out your email like this: E for Echo, C for Charlie, H for Hotel, O for Oscar, so I can make sure I get it right.
P for Papa, R for Romeo, E for Echo, T for Tango, O for Oscar, R for Romeo, I for India, T for Tango, at T for Tango, C for Charlie, D for Delta, dot, I for India, E for Echo.
I'm going to repeat your email back using the phonetic alphabet to confirm. Then I'll log this in our system and send your getting started links. I'll quickly log you as a new lead in our system and record this call, so our team has context if you reach out later.
Okay, so after hanging up that phone call, let's see what happened on the back end here. If we go to the analysis tab and we pull up the conversation. Okay, so we can see the first thing that was called was to find Ireland SMS outbound pricing. and then we got the value back of 0.063, and then it got our email address. So it tried to find the person in Salesforce first, and we notice here that phone is null. And one thing we could do to prevent this in future, it should be pulling in the phone number of the person who's calling. And if we look at the metadata here, we can see that the phone number of calling is this Telnex end user target. So we could use a variable here. So let's add a variable for the Telnex end user target. So then here, using their phone, let's just pull in this variable. Telnex end user target. Okay, whoops. Telnex end user target. So that in future it would know that it can pull in the phone number using this variable. And we could also update it optionally down here using the email and or phone number in Salesforce. So we could also add this in here. Telnex, why is that not showing up? Telnex end user target. So we can just copy this and paste it wherever we're telling it to do that lookup. Phone number in Salesforce. So then in future, it'll have access to that variable. So if we go back here to the analysis tab, and actually while I'm speaking about variables, we can also create other ones here for things like first name, company name, etc. So then when it gathers this information about the person's first name and company name, you could say when you're creating a lead in Salesforce, you could pull in the first name variable and company name variable to let it say always specify the person's first name and company name when creating the person in Salesforce, and you can pull in those variables there too. So you can create custom variables to collect information during the phone call, and then you can use that information in your prompt here, and you can also tell it to use that information when it's making MCP tool calls. So let's go back here to analysis, look at this, and then see what happened on the back end. We looked at that already. So I tried to search for the person in Salesforce. There was a validation error because phone should be a string and not null. So it skipped the Salesforce for a second. It does come back to it. I've already checked this log. It'll come back to it later, but let's see what it did next. It sent the email to Tyron about getting started with Telnex SMS for your ice cream shop. So let's see what that looked like. And it sent the link to sign up for the Telnex portal. It sent the dev docs, and it also sent our support articles. And this is adhering to the prompt we gave it for self-service customers. So if we look down here, we said an opening sentence or two summarizing the phone call, sharing the link to sign up for the portal, the dev docs, and our support articles. And that's exactly what it did here. It summarized the phone call we had, sent the relevant links, and then it gave it some next steps here. So that was very good. And then let's go back to the call again. So we sent the email to the person. Then the next thing was it tried to find the person in Salesforce again, and instead of specifying the phone number here, it just specified the email on its own this time. It saw that the person did not exist. So then it called the create Salesforce lead function, and then it experienced an issue here because when it's creating a lead, it needs to specify the lead field values, and it didn't do that here. So then it made another follow-up attempt. So this time it did specify the fields. It specified the company. It set it equal to unknown because it didn't gather the name of the company during the phone call. But this could be a good place to use a variable. Like I previously showed you, we could have a variable for company name. We could prompt it to ask for the company name, and then once it has it, it could pass the company name using the variable value into this field here. Then it captured email correctly. It didn't get my last name, so it set that equal to unknown. And then it set the lead source detail to the sales line as we requested it to, because if we look at our MCP definition here, we told it that when it's creating a lead, it's either got to choose SMS chat, web chat, or sales line as the lead source detail, and in this case it correctly chose sales line, which is great. So it created the lead, and then it logged a task to the lead with the subject self-service SMS for Ireland Ice Cream Shop, and that was logged successfully. So if we look for this lead in Salesforce, so that's when I searched before. It was newly created, so if I click in here, I'll be able to see that we got the task created successfully, self-service SMS for Ireland Ice Cream Shop, and then we've got all the details of the phone call here, 1,000 SMS per month, and then the total estimated spend. So that's how we can create a voice AI agent, so that when people call it using a phone number exposed on our website, we can have our AI agent answer all their questions and qualify them for our sales funnel.